Psych! Pussyclot!
What's good, everybody? I am Brandon, and we got a buttload of God of War news to talk about today. From a data mine revealing some information about a possible PC port, to PlayStation just straight up coming out and saying that they're making one today. We got all that and more on another episode of Game Corner. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I won't waste too much of your time, but please, if you like what I do, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and we'll get right into it. First off, we got some news from last week. We actually got a data mine from Mr. Igor July over on Reddit. Pretty much it's a leak from NVIDIA saying that were doing some sort of testing around possible PC games that, would use their streaming software. They actually use the Epic Games Store and the Steam Games Store to stream games through their platform. So they probably do, tests and collect data from those backends, to help user experiences and so on and so forth. Obviously, at first, a lot of us were pretty skeptical about whether or not this was true. They were saying things like a GTA trilogy remaster and God of War coming to PC. And at the time, that seemed like a pretty big boast. But now that both of those things have come true, it's starting to look like maybe there was something going on there. So at the time, NVIDIA put out a statement saying that all that information that was collected isn't indicative of any sort of game release, probably kind of covering their ass a bit there. And they of course proceeded to rip access from that information from everywhere. While some of us were skeptical, some other people were reading into this saying that things like Horizon and Days Gone have come to PC, so it's not a huge stretch to see God of War coming there. And seeing as how God of War is the most sold PlayStation 4 or PlayStation game of all time, it makes a lot of sense that they'd be wanting to put more of those hits over on PC. At least, years after they come out on PlayStation. So since this leak has hit, we've actually gotten official information that a GTA trilogy remaster is coming. So obviously the light bulb started going off in everyone's brain. We must be getting a God of War, right? Lo and behold, this morning on the PlayStation blog, they announced that God of War is indeed coming to PC. That port's gonna be hitting the PC on January 14th, 2022. Like I mentioned earlier, God of War is the most sold PlayStation game of all time. As of August 2021, it's actually sold 19.5 million copies. So, a little popular. Not to mention it's one of the most talked about sequels on the internet even before they announced it. Obviously, I think we can all agree that this is a pretty solid idea. I mean, they're gonna make loads of money from this, and they already have made loads of money from this. And honestly, anyone complaining about this is a little baby wiener boy. So I wouldn't listen to anyone on Twitter complaining about PlayStation exclusives coming to PC. That's stupid. The fact is, being able to play more games in more places is a good thing for everybody. I don't know why anyone would complain about having more options. That's just pro-consumer in my book. I feel like it's a similar argument to people who don't want like an easy mode or accessibility options in their games because that's like not what the developer intended. Everybody plays games differently. We all want to play it on tons of different consoles and with tons of different peripherals and accessibility options. Anyway, I digress. Moving back to the new features that'll be adding to the PC version of the game. We're looking at, of course, native 4K resolution, unlocked frame rate, DLSS, 21:9 aspect ratio, controller keyboard support, and all the DLC that has been released for the game so far. So yeah, it's a pretty complete package. If you haven't played God of War yet and you have a PC that can run it, obviously, I highly recommend you check this out. This is easily one of the best games of all time, and it's absolutely worth anybody's time and money to take a look at. Keep in mind that we're also going to be getting a sequel to God of War 2018 coming up next year, God of War Ragnarok. So obviously, if you're looking to get into the sequel, I would definitely play the first one before that comes out. Anyway, that's about all the God of War news I have for you guys today. It looks like we're getting that PC port coming as of next year. So let me know down below if you guys are excited about this. Are you one of those weird people who doesn't like PlayStation exclusives coming to PC? Maybe you've never played the game before. Let me know down below. I'm Brandon. This was Game Corner. We were talking about God of War 2018, and have a kick-ass week.